Shalom. My name is Prophet Jonathan Bridges, and welcome to Building Bridges, where we not only desire to build people, but to build myself in the things of Yahweh, and to build bridges or connections to people all over the world. Well, we're still in this series, which I think is probably one of my most important series. That's very important to not only myself, but everybody that's listening to this today. And the title of this series that we have been in is Let All Things Be Done Decently, and in order. Let all things be done decently and in order. Now, let me start this off with a little quiz for my bricklayers that's out there listening. I done repeated this acronym several times. Quickly, what is a system for? I'm gonna wait. A system saves you stress, time, energy, and money. Good job. Good job. I know it looked like my lips was moving, but it wasn't my lips. Okay, yeah, it was my lips. But I'm sure my bricklayers out there that's listening, come on, a system saves you stress, energy, time, and money, right? Yeah. Is that correct?
Not in that order.
Yeah, not in that order. So we got a student behind the mic who's listening very well. A system saves you time, energy, and money, right?
Yeah.
Is
Stress, time, and money.
Okay, thank you. I just knew I was going to get a correction up in there somewhere. Well, I think this is one of the most important messages. Why? Because I'm going to go back and reiterate some thoughts. The first principle of Yahweh is organization. He loves order. According to the first chapter of Genesis, this is his first principle, and I believe is very important for us to understand this. Later in this series, I'm going to go into the chapter of Genesis, chapter 1, and we're going to really dig some more into this. But today I want you to understand that this is his first principle. In fact, he saves his best when everything is organized. So what does that mean to us? That means that we need to organize what we have, right? So if you want something better from Yahweh, you have to give an account for what it is that you already have. What is Yahweh giving you or put into your possession that you haven't taken care of? This is something that I want you to pause and just look around your proximity. Think about where you work. Think about your vehicle. Think about your house. You see what I'm saying? Come on here, as my wife said, your relationship. You have to realize that it's time for us to get organized because this is Yahweh's first principle. And as I said last week, stop praying for more if you're not organized. It's time to stop praying for those things. Stop praying for that house. Stop praying for that car. Stop praying for that job if you haven't organized or taken care of that which Yahweh has given you. This is extremely important to us. And when I left off last time, what I was talking about, I said I was going to come back to it, and I am, is that poker face. And reason why I brought that term up, when you think about somebody with a poker face, you think about somebody at a card table and their face is like steel. It's like flint. It's not showing any emotion because they have conquered and dominated their emotions. It's not showing any happiness. It's not showing any anger. It's not showing you any type of direction that they're going to go in. And the reason that I brought this up is, as I was saying on last week, I take such good care of my things. When it's time for me to give them away or sell them, I get what I'm asking for, if not more than what it's actually worth. For example, I've sold 2 motorcycles in the past probably 5 or 6 years, or something like that. And what I sold those motorcycles for were actually more than what they were worth according to what do they call that system? Not Google.
I said
Blue Book. Thank you, baby. The Kelly Blue Book. That's what it is. See, this is why I got my helper back there behind. According to the Kelly Blue Book value of those motorcycles, I got more than what I asked for. And the poker face part of this, what I'm talking about, I remember when I sold a Kawasaki ZX14 to a young man. He was in the military. And when I brought the motorcycle to him, you know, usually when you selling something, every man knows this. I'm sure some ladies know this, but every man knows this. When you going to buy a vehicle, you don't go into that business, or you don't go before somebody like, wow, ooh, ooh, you know, jaws all on the floor. You don't go in like that. You got to have a poker face. You don't want this individual to know that you really want this, because there's an opportunity for you to haggle down and negotiate what it is that he's selling. But when I showed my demonstration to this young man, jaw all on the floor, and the only thing he could say to me that I remember, and I'm not repeating it verbatim, he was just like, wow, man, there's nothing else that I can do to this, you know. And quickly, he went back to the vehicle to where his wife was, and he got that money and brought it to me. Second example, and I'm not going to be too long with these examples. I sold a Kawasaki Vulcan Vaquero to another young man, and he was so impressed by it. He tried to haggle me down online about $1,000. And I told him, I was like, nah, man, when I'm asking for it, it's worth it. And he was like, true, true. He was like, I tell you what, take it down. I'm coming to get it. I promise you. And when he showed up once again, jaw all on the floor, he was excited so much, and was impressed by the workmanship that I put into this bike, that now he brings the bike to me for maintenance. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So I invested into those things, and I took care of them, and Yahweh blessed me even more. So I ended up getting a new toy, which is called the Polaris Slingshot. Now, this time on the flip side, I was the one showing up, but I held my poker face when I seen it. I held my poker face. My wife and I went out and bought my slingshot. And, you know, I walked around it, you know, looked at it, you know, yeah, got this right here. Okay, yeah, I see this. All right, okay, cool. And you said how much? Went back to the vehicle, talked to my wife, right? Is that what I did? Came back and walked back and gave him the money, you know, signed over the title and everything. And as soon as I jumped in it, I was like, stay cool, stay cool. I'm sitting in the demonstration. I look right over at my wife.
the Lord has shined on me.
Oh, I was so charged. I was so charged. Well, and okay, so that I lost my poker face there. One more example, I got to give you this. And I'm sharing all this with you for a reason. All of this is talking about order. When you take care of what Yahweh is giving you, come on here, that's order. Are you listening to what I'm saying? My wife and I, we lived in an apartment before we lived in this house. And when we left the apartment, I remember the landlord, Mr. Charles, who's still a good friend of mine to this day. When my wife and I left that apartment, the landlord walked in for the inspection, and the only thing that he could say was, man, I ain't got to do nothing but move the next person in. Am I lying, baby? I'm telling facts. He said, I ain't got to do nothing but move the next person in. Why? Because my wife and I, we took care of that apartment. We cleaned that apartment. We wiped down walls, mopped floors, you know, didn't leave the walls dirty. I mean, that apartment was better than it was handed to us. So because of our faithfulness over that, what Yahweh did was blessed us with this. Are you seeing what I'm saying? And this is a blessing, because come on here, Yahweh worked a miracle for us to have this. Are you listening to what I'm saying? So it is important for us to take care of what Yahweh has given us. Why? Because Yeshua summed it up, and I'm paraphrasing it. Yeshua summed it up when he said, and I'm paraphrasing, if you can't be faithful over a little, right?
Yes.
How can you be faithful over much? And according to the scripture in Luke 16:10, this is his actual words. He said, he that is faithful in the least, come on here. He that is faithful, which in that which is least, is faithful also in much. And he that is unjust in least is also unjust in much. So it's important for us, come on here, to get in line with what Yahweh is saying. And the only way that we can get in line, come on here, is if we're on that straight path. When you move crookedly, you're moving out of order. See, according to Yeshua, he said, enter ye in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction. But he said in Luke, he that is unjust in a little is unjust in much. So what this means is we have to have order. When you have order, that means that you're moving in a straight line. You're moving in the divine order of what Yahweh desired us for us to do. When we're moving in a straight line, we're moving straight. When you're crooked, the crooked path is moving zigzag. Are you listening to what I'm saying? But what Yahweh desires is for us to walk in order. The scripture says the order, the steps of the righteous are ordered by who? Yahweh. Come on here. And as I said before, when Yahweh walks, it's a march. So we're marching like soldiers, one behind the other on the straight path, heading towards what Yahweh desired for us to do. Yahweh loves order. Are you listening to what I'm saying? He desires order. And when we're in line, Yahweh can really do some things for us. So Yeshua said that if you're not faithful in the little, how can I make you faithful over a lot of things? Go with me real quick to Matthew 25:14. And I'm going to kind of jump around in this scripture right here. Matthew 25:14. And for the sake of time, I'm going to start reading. And I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with this parable that Yeshua was sharing. And what he said in this scripture was, for the kingdom of heaven is a man traveling into a far country who called his own servants and delivered unto him his goods. Are you listening to what I'm saying? This is a parable that Yeshua delivered and that he was given to the people. He said the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling to a far country, and he gathered unto him his servants, and I'm paraphrasing right here, and he delivered unto him his goods. Are you listening to what I'm saying? What has Yahweh delivered unto you? What has Yahweh given you? Are you taking care of those things? Are you doing things decently and in order with those things that he gave you? So he delivered unto you those goods. Now, if we drop down Matthew 25:21, we know that according to the parable that Yeshua was given, he said he gave 5 talents, right? He said that he gave another 2 talents. Am I correct, baby? 2 talents. And then on to the third one, it said that he gave him 1 talent. And we know that the one with the 5 talents, he went out and he invested what was given unto him by his Lord. And he said, hey, I had your 5 talents and I took those and I doubled them. I got 10 talents. Here you go, my Lord. And then the second one, he had 2 talents. He was like, hey, I went and I invested it. Come on here, and I doubled it, and I brought you back 4 talents, my Lord. And then to the last one, what did he go and do? Let's not go there just yet. So to the first 2, when Yeshua was speaking, according to Matthew 25:21, his Lord said unto them, and I'm kind of working this to embody these first 2. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things, right? I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Are you seeing? He's seeing this. He's saying that because you done things decently And in order, come on here, I'm going to make you ruler over many things. Ain't this heavy? So let's drop down a little bit more. We're still in chapter 25. Let's go to 24. 24. And then he which received the 1 talent came and said, now y'all got to listen to this. I hope when y'all read this, y'all are really paying attention to the mentality of the individual in this part that we're talking about. And said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou not hast strawn. Listen to what this guy right here is saying. When you're an individual who has a mind that's not on the path of what Yahweh is doing, it's going to cause you to see things as if you're crooked. And when you see things crooked, this is what they call you. They call you cross-eyed. It's hard for me to, do my eyes like that. And I don't want to because it might give me a headache. Come on here. They might get stuck, as my wife said. But this individual, when you're on a straight path, you see straight. This individual said, thou art a hard man reaping. So listen to what this guy is saying. He's saying you difficult, bruh. And I know that you like to come and grab things that you ain't even put your work into. So in other words, this is the individual that's saying to God, hey, look, I got to do all of this because I know if you do something about this right here, you going to take everything that I got. So this individual, he's seeing crookedly. So these type of people, what they do is they take this avatar and they place it over the Father. And what they're actually seeing is not Yahweh. They're seeing their own character and thinking about how they would handle things. Yeah. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Yeah. They're looking at how they would handle things and not how Yahweh handles things. Because if the Father said one man water and another man, come on here, is going to reap. Are you listening to what I'm saying? And one man is going to sow and another man is going to reap. So when you're putting the avatar of your character or the character of another individual who's done you wrong in the past, when you don't know Yahweh and you don't have a connection or a relationship with him, what you end up doing is you put somebody else's face over who the Father is. And now you judge how he's going to operate in your life based off of your own personal experiences or past experiences with other individuals. So this mindset is incorrect. Are you listening to what I'm saying? So let's move on. In verse 25, he said, now this is where it starts really getting murky with this mindset of this individual. He said, I was afraid. Man, I'm getting up and walking off right now. Forget this camera. No, I'm just playing with y'all. We finna keep going. I'm not finna take y'all a little precious minute. Is this good? Is this good? If you getting value, please put a like down in the bottom down there. Hit that thumbs up. Also, throw a comment in that demonstration. Share this video with somebody. I hope this is giving you value. If it is, please share it with somebody. He said, yes, as my wife said, sow a seed, correct? Yes, that's what she said. I want to make sure I get all my wife's words right. That woman is highly intelligent. Are you listening to what I'm saying? He said, I was afraid. So we can pause right there. He said, I was afraid. What this means is that he was operating out of a fear-based system. Now we back into computer language again, because we said that Yahweh is our manufacturer, right? So if Yahweh is our manufacturer and Yeshua is our operating system, we should be operating correctly. But he said, I was afraid. In other words, I was operating with fear. Are you listening to what I'm saying? According to 2 Timothy 1:7, is right there in your notes, baby. For Yahweh has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Are you listening to what I'm saying? So this is what Yahweh is saying. When you get on that straight path and you start seeing things clearly, come on here, and you're doing things decently in order, and you're on the path in line with what I'm saying, you're going to see me clearly. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Goodness gracious. Whew, he did not give us the spirit of fear. And we going to pause right there and we going to come back into this. I hope that you really enjoyed this message. And if you have, as I said, hit that like button. It's right there at the bottom. Y'all see me pointing? It looked just like this. Not this one. This one. Not this one. This one. Yeah, make sure that you also comment and that you share this video. Be the salt of the earth and share it with somebody else. And also, start paying attention to the comment section. You're going to notice that I'm going to pin my personal thoughts tied with each message. Even actually go back, as I said, man, I've been dropping some gems. I'm almost feeling like that my little short comments been better than the messages. But go in there and check that out. And I'm glad that you're here with us. And I hope that you're starting to really internalize the system. A system saves you stress, time, energy, and money. We gonna get it right in the end. We gonna get it right. And I hope that you enjoyed this. I bless you for coming and listen again, my bricklayers and those who are listening, friends, constituents, family members, and loved ones. Thank you. And also, I keep forgetting to do this. My beautiful wife, who is always behind the camera, my other producer, I bless her and I thank her, for my audience also. And I bless you all. And we'll be back again next week in Let All Things Be Done Decently and in Order. Shalom. Whew. See?